Hi everyone, this is Group 3 and we are going to present vaccination and first in human trial for you. Our group consists of 4 members, San, Amani, Märta and me, Dalia. We will start this presentation by a short background of the COVID-19 pandemic, followed by the clinical process, and after that we will talk about development of vaccines and finishing up with a conclusion. So, my name is Dalia and I will present this first part about the background of the pandemic and the COVID vaccines for you. In December 2019, a new virus was discovered in China. The virus spread rapidly and caused respiratory diseases worldwide, which resulted in the COVID-19 pandemic. The virus was part of the coronavirus family, which may cause respiratory infections ranging from the common cold to more severe diseases. When China announced the new coronavirus, CPI connected its partners that were developing MERS vaccines with the potential for further financial support. They and others began vaccine development as soon as the first gene sequence was posted. Usually when drugs vaccines are developed, they have to undergo some phases, such as preclinical trials, phase 0 and phase 1. The aim of the preclinical trials is to determine primarily efficacy, toxicity, pharmacokinetics, and safety information of the drug. That is due to the in vitro and in vivo assays, animal studies, and in silico profiling. The aim of phase 0 is to determine safety and pharmacokinetics data, which is done by single subtherapeutic doses given to 10 to 20 to 15 subjects and yield pharmacokinetics data or help with imagining specific targets without introducing pharmacological effects. Phase 1 aims to determine safety, tolerability, and pharmacokinetics. That is obtained by single ascending dose study, multiple ascending dose study, and health volunteers or patients. The development of these vaccines was facilitated by the past experience from SARS, MERS, and Ebola, availability of the next-generation vaccine technology platforms, the possibility of having overlapping phases, thereby shortened the development time. There were many investors' pre-agreements, and also we had regulatory facilitations. But we had also challenges, such as intensive research was needed to be done. We needed also proactive response from the vaccines. Other challenges were the lack of knowledge about COVID-19, the lack of knowledge about the genetic and immunogenetic characterization, and the cold chain storage condition.
Hello, I'm Son. I will continue our presentation with the development of vaccines. So as we know that the traditional vaccine development, it usually takes around 5 to 15 years for a vaccine to be released on the market. They usually did each clinical trial phase one by one. But now, due to the severity of the pandemic globally, the vaccine development needs to be accelerated very fast. Now they do multiple steps at once. As you can see, for example, they combine part of the phase 2 to phase 1 or part of the phase 3 to phase 2. Then the development time is compressed. But the companies, they need to apply the extensive knowledge on vaccine production gained from the existing vaccines on the market. So how the government, they speed up the vaccine development? So first of all, communication is the most important factor. Continuous dialogue between companies and medicinal authorities must be conducted regularly. For example, in Europe, EMA, they set up a department called the COVID-19 Task Force, which is in charge of communicating with the companies to have them solve the problems. And the companies, they could take the informal consultation with its COVID-19 task force and rapid scientific advice from the medicinal authorities. The government, they could accelerate the evaluation of the vaccine. For example, the EMA, they could use the rolling review cycle to speed up the documentation process of the vaccine. So thanks to the support from all the world, lots of vaccines have been designed and be tested in clinical trials. Among all of them, viral vector vaccine and mRNA are the most popular COVID vaccine due to the positive results in protecting the human being from being infected with the COVID-19. And I will leave my words for my colleague Marta to continue our presentation.
Hi, my name is Martin. I will explain a little bit more about the development of mRNA vaccine versus viral vector vaccine. Vaccinations based on RNA have been developed since the 1990s, underpinned particularly by the Ebola epidemics. Previously, mRNA vaccine have been studied and developed against rabies also. But the mRNA vaccine against COVID-19 are the first approved and marketed mRNA vaccines. We'll take a closer look at the picture on this slide. The RNA vaccine contains messenger RNA that contains a code for surface protein of the SARS-CoV-2 virus, the spike protein. The mRNA is formulated in a fatty particle to be able to enter the muscle cell. In the cell, the mRNA gives the instruction to produce the protein it's coding for. This starts immune response against the spike protein. It is recognized as something foreign. Moderna's mRNA vaccine-based SARS-CoV-2 candidate entered a phase 1 clinical trial on March 16, 2020. This was less than 10 weeks after the first genetic sequence were released, which is the basic knowledge needed to produce the mRNA vaccine. Pfizer-BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine is also a mRNA vaccine. FDA gave these two mRNA vaccine emergency use authorization in December 2020. And EMA gave these two mRNA vaccines a conditional marketing authorization in December 2020 and January 2021. The benefits with mRNA vaccines are high potency, capacity for rapid development, potential for low-cost manufacture, and safe administration. We consider the development of the mRNA vaccine against COVID-19 to be an interesting pharmacovigilance dilemma. The world is in crisis. In a pandemic, people are recommended or forced to quarantine, and communities are collapsing. People die and there is no effective medication. This puts incredible pressure on the development of vaccines, and mRNA vaccines are the first of their kind, developed rapidly and approved for emergency use, which means that the normal approval procedure has not been fully completed. Viral vector vaccine, in this case adenovirus-based vectors, have dominated the viral vector vaccine field. The viral vector vaccine against COVID-19 have an adenovirus shell containing DNA that encodes a SARS-CoV-2 protein. The viral vector-based vaccine against COVID-19 are non-replicating, meaning that they do not make new virus particles, but rather produce only the antigen which bring out a systemic immune response. AstraZeneca vaccine is a viral vector vaccine. EMA gave this vaccine in January 2021 a conditional marketing authorization. FDA have not approved this vaccine for use in the US yet. During the preclinical trials for viral vector vaccine from Astra versus mRNA vaccine from Pfizer-BioNTech, the following data could be reported. The efficacy of them both was advantageous compared to control groups, and the safety could be assessed as good.
Hi, I am Amani, and I will talk a little about the adverse effect of COVID-19 vaccines. The most adverse reaction that were reported in all doses group were mild or moderate in severity, and there is no serious adverse events was noted within 20 days post-vaccination. Adverse effect, the most common one was the pain in the injection sites, the fever, muscle pain, and headaches. As a conclusion, we can see that we need more information about COVID-19 itself, and we need to accumulate this information and evaluate it. We need to do further clinical trials about safety and efficacy on the long term, and we need to investigate the new side effects that are reported, such as blood clots or pericarditis. But on another hand, we can see that developing of a new vaccine technique that will be hopefully large benefits in the future. And we can see that we can, in crisis situations such as COVID-19 pandemic, we can develop quickly a vaccine that help Do the benefit overweigh the risk? In the current situation, we can see that yes, because the vaccine benefit in protecting people against COVID-19 is greater than side effects or potential risks.
So that's all the information that our groups want to provide about the vaccination and the first in human trial. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.